Hi, I'm Faran Cooper and I'm a Pilates instructor, and welcome to Body Talk Daily. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking you through some basic general level Pilates exercises that you can do anywhere, in your home or in your office. In today's session, I'm going to be using a mini stability ball, a foam block, and a fitness circle. Now don't worry if you don't have any of these pieces of equipment at home. They're easily purchased from your local sporting goods store. I recommend them for that bit of extra stability and added resistance. You can still perform the exercises without them. Let's begin by coming down onto the mat, and we're going to start our breathing. Now I like to use the foam block just because I've got tight hamstrings and it's hard to achieve a neutral position with my back. So we're going to start by flexing the knees and placing the hands down the shins. We're going to flex forward here. Again, being careful not to strain yourself and come over your knees too far and slump forward. This will restrict your breathing. You want to come up and make sure that there's a nice C curve here. Place the hands gently on the shins and lower the head down and breathe in through the nose. Feel the rib cage expand and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through soft pursed lip. We want the rib cage to be expanding and retracting just like an accordion. Let's do this one more time. Inhale through the nose and out through a soft pursed lip. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders and the facial muscles. Let's lengthen up through the spine, lengthening the ear away from the shoulder. Let's take away the block and now come lying supine down on our backs. Lying down supine on the mat, eye line facing upwards and our palms are facing down flat onto the mat. We're in neutral spine here. Our knees are flexed and our heels are about a foot away from our buttocks. And we're just relaxing here the neck and the shoulders and the facial muscles, again in neutral spine. We're going to do something called imprint and release. This involves flattening out the spine onto the back of the mat without excessively squeezing the glutes and jamming the tailbone into the mat. So just be very cautious of that. So let's use the breath pattern to work this exercise. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Sink the belly button in towards the spine, and again, rock the pelvis gently in towards you. We want to shorten up the obliques and the rib cage comes down. And come back into neutral spine. So now there should be a space beneath you and your lower back and the mat. Again, eye line is looking upwards. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through a soft pursed lip. Again, we want to send that tailbone away. Sorry, can I do that again? We want to send that tailbone away towards our feet, again, without jamming it into the back of the mat, and then come back into neutral spine again. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Shortening the obliques down towards the hip bones. And come back into neutral 1 more time. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Coming into imprint. Holding for 1 breath and let's release back into neutral spine. Wonderful. Let's do something called head nods now. This loosens up the back of the neck extensors. So we just want to drop the eye line a few inches without jamming the chin into the chest. So let's work with the breath pattern here. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Follow a little creepy crawly little spider down just a few inches and then return back upwards, eye line facing into neutral position. Let's do this 1 more time. Inhale and exhale, drop the chin and back upwards, again, back into your neutral position. Wonderful. Let's now do tabletops, okay? So this involves bringing one leg up into a 90-degree angle and bringing the other leg up into a 90-degree angle to meet that leg. And we want to do this whilst we're in imprint. So there should not be a space between your lower back and the mat. Otherwise, you'll arch upwards and the pelvis will tilt. So again, in neutral position, we're gonna inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, sinking that belly button in, again as if that corset is on just a little bit too tight. We're gonna bring one leg up into tabletop, making sure, again, we're imprinted onto the mat, and then bringing the other leg up to meet that leg. Ensure that both knees are over your hip bones and not over your tummy. This will take the weight off your core. So in this position, we're going to do something called toe taps, which involves tapping the toe down onto the mat and then bringing it back up. Let's work with the breath pattern. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Drop the toe gently onto the mat and bring it back up again. Again, inhale through the nose and exhale. Drop that toe down. Again, inhale through the nose and exhale. Dropping that toe once more onto the mat, making sure, again, that we're really kept firm through the tummy area, so we're not arching our back so it's coming off of the mat. Again, working in that imprint. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Dropping that leg and touching the toe down and bringing it back up. Again, inhale and exhale. And bringing that back up. Again, we want to try and relax the neck and relax the shoulders. What a lot of people tend to do is strain their neck and their shoulders whilst they're doing this exercise. So we want to relax the upper body. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Dropping that leg. Let's do one more on each side just to even up. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Bringing it back up. Let's do one more on the left-hand side. Inhale through the nose and exhale, dropping that foot, floating it back down and floating it back up. Let's take an active recovery here, bringing the knees into the chest and massaging the lumbar spine. Just rock from side to side, massaging your lumbar, taking an active recovery for a moment. Wonderful. If we come back to center, place one foot down gently and then the other. We're going to now do something called ab prep. With ab prep, I'm going to use the fitness circle. This adds a bit of extra resistance for activation of our inner thighs. So if we place the fitness circle above the joint, never place the fitness circle on the joint. Some people do like to place it between their ankles, but today we're going to place it right in between our thighs, just above the joint here. Again, let's come back down onto the mat. Don't want to squeeze it too much. So again, the cushiony parts of the ring should be on your inner thighs. Okay, so here we're going to do that head nod again like we did in the beginning, and we're going to place the eye line towards the knee, and we're going to do what looks like a bit of a half sit-up. So we're going to work with the breath. Let's inhale through the nose. So we're going to flex the head upwards, eye line is towards the knee, extend the fingertips and the arms down towards your feet, and we want the belly button sinking in towards the spine. If we come up too high, it's going to bunch through the tummy area, and we don't want that. So we want it to keep nice and flat. Again, just hold for one breath, and exhale, coming back down gently onto the mat. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Coming up, slide the shoulders and the shoulder blades down the back and extend through the fingertips. Activate the inner thighs with the fitness ring and coming back down. Let's do this 1 more time. Inhale through the nose and out through a soft pursed lip. Eye line towards the knee, activation of the inner thighs, and then coming back down onto the mat. Placing the hands back down. Okay guys, again, placing the fitness circle in your hands, we're gonna do something called protraction and retraction. This involves the shoulder blades or the scapula gliding around the rib cage, and it involves stabilization and mobilization of that area. So we're gonna come down onto the mat, taking your fitness circle in between your palms, okay? Squeeze a little bit on the fitness circle and sort of activate through this area here, and eye line is upwards. Again, knees are flexed, shoulders and neck and facial muscles are relaxed. So we're just gonna add a bit of pressure there on the cushiony parts of the fitness circle. We're gonna work with the breath, so let's inhale here through the nose, and as we exhale, Retract upwards, so spreading the shoulders, the shoulder blades apart and extending upwards without overextending the back of the neck. So we want to keep the back of the neck onto the mat. And exhale, coming back down and relaxing the shoulder blades. Let's do this 2 more times. Again, inhale through the nose. And exhale, extend through the fingertips, looking right through the fitness circle, adding that slight bit of pressure, and then releasing back downwards. We're working in neutral spine now, so we're not in imprint. Again, inhale through the nose, and exhale, reaching up. Again, watching the neck and making sure it's not overextending. And coming back into neutral. Now we're going to do a retraction of the shoulder blades, which involves the 2 shoulder blades or scapula coming closer together. So we're going to work with the breath again, adding that slight bit of pressure onto the fitness ring. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Retract and bring the shoulder blades closer together. Try not to squeeze them too hard, just a little bit. And release them back into neutral. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Gently bring the shoulder blades closer together. And again, come back into neutral. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Bringing those shoulder blades again closer together. And let's come back up into neutral and taking the fitness circle away. Okay, now we're going to do something called elevation and depression, which involves, again, the stabilization and mobilization of the scapula and the shoulder girdle area. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, bring the shoulders up towards your ears, and then exhale, slide them down your back. Working in neutral spine again. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Slide the shoulder blades down the back, extend the fingertips towards your toes. Again, inhale, up towards your ears, and then exhale, sliding the shoulder blades down the back and extending your fingertips towards your feet. 1 more time. Inhale through the nose, elevation, and bringing the shoulder blades down for depression. And bringing the palms down onto the mat. Okay, we're going to now come up into what's called a Pilates bridge. Okay, it's sometimes called hip rolls. We want to place a stability ball between our knees so that way there's no movement of the lumbopelvic region or our legs. It's very important we stay completely stable through this area. So I recommend placing the ball slightly between your knees. Apply a bit of pressure here. Okay, palms facing down into the mat, and we are in neutral spine. We're going to inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, we're coming up into a diagonal line. Again, we don't want to thrust or overextend here. It's a nice diagonal line from the knee to the shoulder. Again, palms down, flat on the mat, keeping the neck and the shoulders relaxed. We're trying to activate through the glutes and strength and energy coming up through the thighs. Hold here for 1 breath, and then release back downwards, bone by bone by bone, each segment of your spine, sending that tailbone down towards your feet and really relaxing back into neutral spine. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, lifting the hips up, again without thrusting the pelvic area, squeezing on the stability ball for activation of the inner thighs. We're really trying to activate both glutes here, holding for 1 breath, and then melting back down into the mat like ice cream, sending that tailbone away, coming back into neutral spine. Let's do this 1 more time. Again, squeezing on the stability ball and inhaling through the nose, and exhaling, rolling the hip upwards, holding up here, energy through the thighs, and again, trying to relax the neck and the shoulders so we're not working anything else, and relaxing back downwards. Again, articulation of the spine, segment by segment, sending that tailbone down and away, coming back into neutral spine. Placing the forehead into the hands here, Again, digging the hip bones into the mat, we are actually squeezing the glutes just a tad, and we're going to hover above the mat, again, not coming up, hinging into our lumbar spine, coming up from the bra strap upwards. Okay, so we're gonna work with the breath. Let's inhale through the nose, and exhale, coming up. Be careful of your legs, make sure that they're firm onto the mat, so the backs of the knees are nice and straight. We're extending away, the crown of the head is forward. Again, make sure that the shoulder blades are sliding down the back and the palms are facing inwards towards the main part of the body. Eye line is downwards. And exhaling, coming back down, forehead gently into your hands again. Let's do this one more time. Inhale through the nose and exhale. As if we're gliding through water, the hands are facing the body, the crown of the head is forward, and our shoulders are down our back, and we're staring down. Again, make sure, watch the back of the neck, that you're not overextending and you're not flexing forward too much. We want it in line with the thoracic spine. Hold for one breath, and gently come back down onto the mat. From here, take a shell stretch recovery. Okay, so the heels onto the bum, placing the palms of the hands facing upwards. We want some inner activation here, so we're not slumping over, again, the knees. We're actually maintaining that nice C curve, and the palms are facing upwards. You can place the palms in front of you, just as long as you don't come forward and, again, slump over the knees. The head is flexed forward, and we're breathing in here. Keep that tummy and that navel in towards the back of your spine. Breathe for one breath. And exhale, roll upwards, articulating each bone of your spine, lengthening the ear away from the shoulder. Okay, coming out of the shell stretch, we're now gonna do something called rolling like a ball. We're gonna use the fitness circle here, okay? And we're just gonna come to the edge of our mat. This is an articulation exercise which involves using pelvic floor muscles. So we don't wanna use momentum to roll ourselves back. We want to use pelvic floor and contract it to bring ourselves up, as well as working with that breath pattern. Okay, so we're gonna place the fitness circle again between the two palms of the hands, and we're just going to sit back on our sit bones here. So again, maintaining and exaggerating that nice C curve shape. Again, the navel is pushed in towards the spine. We're gonna lift one foot off the ground, just a tad, and then we're gonna meet the other one. Again, we're using the fitness circle here, so that way if we kick the legs up, we know that we're doing this wrong. So hold the fitness circle just a few inches above your shins. Let's inhale, and as we exhale, rolling back, and using pelvic floor to bring us back up, not the momentum. We're going to initiate with our lumbar spine. Again, inhale, and exhale, coming back up, balancing on those sit bones. One more time, inhale through the nose, and exhale, using the breath and pelvic floor to bring us back up into the reset position. One more time, inhale through the nose, roll back, and again, balancing on those sit bones, using pelvic floor and contracting that muscle. To come safely out of the position, place the fitness circle down by your side, gently rest one foot down on the ground and then the other. We're now going to do an exercise called the full rollback. We're going to use the mini stability ball and place it between our feet here to stabilize the legs. We're going to dorsiflex the feet through here. Again, strength and energy through the legs to keep them down firmly onto the mat. We're going to place the palms facing downwards and the fingers extending towards the feet. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. We're going to inhale. And as we exhale, again, trying to squash that cherry tomato with the back of our spine, bringing the arms over the head. Here, we want to make sure the rib cage doesn't pop up. So let's bring that rib cage right down towards the back of the mat. Inhale here, and exhale, coming up, articulating bone by bone by bone, using pelvic floor, and again, making sure the feet are nice and dorsiflexed. Again, inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, initiating with the lumbar spine, then the thoracic, and then the cervical. Again, placing the palms and the hands over the head, but not so much that the rib cage pops. So really be mindful and make sure the rib cage is flat onto the mat. Let's inhale here at the top and exhale. Reaching forward, again, initiating from this lumbar and maintaining that C curve. Coming forward, we don't want to come forward too much because this isn't a hamstring stretch. This is actually a pelvic floor exercise. So we want to slide the shoulder blades down the back, not coming forward too much, and maintaining that nice C shape. Inhale here at the top and exhale. Coming down, bone by bone by bone, and placing the hands above the head. Again, making sure they're not by your ears. They're sliding down your back. Inhale here at the top and exhale. Coming forward. Again, C, scooping that tummy inwards and coming forward. And let's do this one more time. Inhale to initiate the movement and exhale, coming back. Hands raised above the head here, keeping the rib cage nice and flat down on the mat. Inhale here at the top and exhale, coming up. Again, contracting pelvic floor and using our abdominals to bring us back up. We're now going to do an exercise called single leg stretch. The single leg stretch is really great to work our abdominals. So it goes something like this. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale, coming into imprint, again, flattening out the back of the spine onto the mat without excessively squeezing the glutes, coming into tabletop, lifting one leg up, meeting the other, again, making sure our knees are not over our tummy, but rather over our hip bones, okay? Placing the hands on both knees here, we're going to inhale and exhale, reach away. Inhale as they come back, exhale as we reach away. Alternate legs. On the exhale, sending that leg away and lengthening that toe away from you. Again, make sure that we're in imprint, that we're working in imprint. The eye line is towards the knee the whole time. Okay, for a bit of a challenge, you can lower the legs and really work the lower abdominals here. Again, try and keep the neck and the facial muscles tension-free as we do this. We don't want to grab the leg towards us, but rather touch it gently on the outside of the knee. To come out of this safely, lower back down onto the mat, place the palms down, floating one leg down and then the other. We're now going to do the one leg circle. This is going to work the stability of the lumbopelvic region whilst we circle the leg in midair. Let's come down onto the mat, placing the hands onto the mat. Again, we're working a neutral spine here. Let's take one leg down nice and heavy on the mat. Again, we're going to place one leg up in a 90-degree angle. We can straighten the leg, however, most people will find this difficult as they've got tight hamstrings. So let's keep it at a 90-degree angle, inhaling through the nose. And as we exhale, drawing little circles in the air with the toe, tracing those circles nice and gently. And again, we're trying to feel the femur in the ball and socket joint in the hip. So I like to place my hands on my hip bones for stability of this region. Okay, let's switch direction. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Drawing little circles is better than drawing bigger ones, simply because we lose the stability of the lumbopelvic region if we draw really big circles. Let's just do one more. So we're going to exhale. And placing the foot back down, switching over to the other side. Again, placing that leg nice and heavy and long onto the mat. I like to, again, place my hands on my hip bones so I can feel whether I'm rocking from side to side. Okay, inhaling through the nose, lifting the leg into the air, and drawing little circles, tracing it with the foot, and just, again, being very mindful of the stability of the pelvic region. And we're not popping the hip off of the mat. So again, just exhaling. We don't want to bring the leg too close to the body, so we want to challenge the stability here. Okay, let's just do one more in this direction. And reverse the circle. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling, drawing light circles again, feeling the femur in the hip socket. Again, exhaling, and feeling that leg, that opposite leg, be really heavy on the mat so we're not moving anything else. Okay, placing that foot back down gently onto the mat and taking a quick recovery. We're now going to do the classic exercise called the saw. The saw is all about articulation through the spine and again, stabilization through the torso. I like to use a foam block, again, to raise the pelvis slightly higher than the knees. We're gonna take the legs out in front of us, dorsiflex the feet, make sure again that there's strength through the legs. You can bend and flex the knees if you need to. However, I do recommend to try and straighten them out if you can. Okay, so we're gonna take the arms out at an angle at a sagittal plane, and we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, coming forward, sawing off that big toe and medially rotating the arm into the shoulder socket and flexing forward and articulating upwards, using the obliques to bring us back to center. Again, inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, medially rotating the opposite arm in the shoulder and sawing off that big toe. Again, inhaling, coming up, and exhaling, coming the opposite direction, really sawing off that big toe, flexing forward, maintaining a nice C curve, and coming back up to center. Let's just do one more on each side. Inhale through the nose, draw the shoulder blades down the back so they're not up by your ears, and really saw off that big toe. Eye line is towards the knee, maintaining a C curve in the spine. And coming back to center. Again, arms are in a sagittal plane, so they're at an angle with your shoulder blades. Inhale. One more time, and exhale. Coming forward into that C curve and articulating upwards, bone by bone by bone, lengthening the ears away from the shoulders and placing the hands back down by your side. Okay, to finish today's session, we're going to do a standing roll-up. Again, all about articulation through the spine. So we're gonna place the hands down onto the mat, head goes forward, and the heels are about an inch off of the edge of the mat. We're gonna place the heels down, exhale through the mouth, straighten the legs, and again, keeping the crown of the head forward and heavy as gravity takes its place. Keeping the shoulders and the arms and the hands heavy onto the mat, we're going to initiate the roll up with the lumbar spine and using the breath. Again, let's inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, see scooping that tummy and that navel right inwards, sending that tailbone down towards your feet, and rolling upwards, bone by bone by bone, each segment of your spine, keeping the chin tucked onto your chest, the shoulders come up, and lastly, the crown of the head. And we're standing tall as if being pulled up by an imaginary piece of string. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Body Talk. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you want to find out more about me, check out the link below.